Hi everyone, it's Jen. I'm a nurse practitioner, and today we're going to talk about one of the big things that I get asked about a lot in my office, and that's about toddlers and when they transition from a crib into a big kid bed. I get so many concerned parents because their babies are getting to that point where they're standing in the crib, they're jumping up and down, and there's only a matter of time before they can just launch themselves over that ledge, and it is frightening. Today, we're going to talk about how to know if your toddler is ready to move out of the crib. And as a pediatric nurse practitioner and a mom who's been through this transition 3 times on my own, I'm going to give you the real nitty gritty. No judgment, just facts and support. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what signs to look for, what the research actually says about timing, and when it's totally okay to wait. So let's dive in. So in this video, we're going to talk mostly about how to decide if you're ready for that transition. The next video that I'll post soon will be about how to actually make that transition happen. So first of all, let's talk about what the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends. And the AAP says most kids transition somewhere between 18 months and 3.5 years, with a sweet spot around 2 to 3. Here's what I tell parents in my own practice. Age is just one little factor, and it's not a one and done. So there's actually a study from 2019 in sleep medicine that when we transition kids too early, before 18 months, we see more bedtime battles and more night wakings. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong if you need to transition earlier for safety reasons, or maybe you've got another baby on the way. But those little ones in the 1-year-old range, they don't understand consequences very well. So if your 2.5-year-old is still happy in their crib and they're not climbing out, you don't have to rush this either. And if your 20-month-old is a little escape artist, we're going to talk about that right now. The immediate red flags for moving your baby into a larger floor bed or toddler bed, the non-negotiables. And that means we're transitioning like now. Number 1, your toddler is climbing out of the crib. This is the biggest one. Once your child can actually climb out, the crib is no longer safe, period. The Consumer Product Safety Commission reports that most crib injuries happen when kids are trying to climb out and fall, obviously. So if your little Houdini has figured that out, we're moving to a bed ASAP. Now, I will say there are bed tents and things nowadays that you can try, and if that works for a little one, great. There are also, so many little ones are still in sleep sacks, which prevent them from climbing out, which, if it works for you, great, keep going. These are for the little ones who don't have the option for a crib tent and are fighting out of their sleep sack on their own. Okay, so the second big safety issue is if the crib rail is at or below their chest when they're standing. Stand your toddler up in the crib, and if that top rail is at their chest or lower, usually around 35 inches tall, they have enough leverage to potentially flip over the edge, and that's time to transition. I know this can feel scary or sudden, especially if you weren't expecting it, but I promise we're going to get through this together. And if you're dealing with either of these situations, skip ahead to the next video where we walk you through actually how to do it, because you've already hit all of the immediate green lights that we have to hit in order to make that transition happen. Now, let's talk about the developmental green lights, where you have positive signs that your toddler might be developmentally ready. These aren't safety issues. These are more like, we're cognitively there. I think that transition would work. Sign number 1, they can follow simple instructions. So can your toddler understand and follow directions like stay in bed or lie down? This cognitive ability can actually understand the expectations, which makes your job so much easier. Quick test to try it out. Try simple, quick 2-step commands during the day, like go get your shoes and bring them to mommy. If they can do that consistently, it's a pretty good sign. Sign number 2, they're actually showing interest in a big kid bed. Are they talking about beds, pointing them out in books, saying they want to sleep like mommy and daddy? This natural curiosity is golden. Use it. Kids who are interested in the change often transition more smoothly. Sign number 3, potty training. If you're about to potty train or you've already started potty training, there's a pretty good chance that your little one is going to ask to go to the potty, or in the middle of the night, they're going to need to use the potty at night. So being able to get out of bed independently becomes really important. A lot of families that find coordinating these two transitions just makes more practical sense. Sign number 4, a new baby's coming. This isn't a developmental sign, but it's a reality for a lot of families. So you need to be able to have that crib for the new baby. Here's my professional advice. Transition your older child at least 6 to 8 weeks before the baby arrives, so it gives them time to adjust without thinking like the baby took my crib. I've seen this make such a big difference in how kids handle the change emotionally. Okay, when is it okay to wait? You do have permission to wait. You don't have to rush this. I have parents come in who are worried about their kids, their friends' kids moving into a bed at 18 months and their 2.5-year-old is still in a crib. And I tell them, if your child is sleeping well and they're not climbing out and everyone's happy and there's no safety concerns, there's absolutely no medical reason to change what's working. Research actually suggests that the kids who transition a little later have fewer sleep disruptions. Some kids happily stay in their cribs until 3 or even beyond, and that is completely fine. Trust your gut. You know your child better than anyone else. All right, let's recap the 7 signs. Immediate need for moving to that big bed. Climbing out of the crib, having your chest at or above the crib rail. The positive readiness signs. Number 3, following simple commands. Number 4, shows interest in a big bed. Number 5, potty training has started. Number 6, new sibling is coming soon. And number 7, everyone's ready. If you've checked off 2 or more of those readiness signs, your toddler probably is ready to make the move. And here's the thing, you don't need all of them. Every child is different and every family situation is so unique. Now, if you've determined that your toddler is ready or they need to transition for safety reasons, make sure you watch my next video where I walk you through exactly how to make this transition happen step by step, including all my favorite safety gear, the best toddler proofing strategies, and the 2 methods I recommend to families. I'll link it down here when it's up. I've also put together a free downloadable checklist assessing if your toddler is ready for that transition. So I'll put that in the description below as well. You've got this. I'm here to help with you every step of the way. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.